Greetings, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, and members of the public. This is Brenda Lopez, Interim Housing Director, and this item is regarding the 2025 to 2029 Ventura County Regional Consolidated Plan, the 2025 to 2029 Ventura County Regional Analysis of Impediments to Fair Housing Choice, and the 2025 to 2026 Annual Action Plan. I will first start with a brief background. The City of Oxnard receives 3 entitlement grants from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, hereinafter referred to as HUD. These include the Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, Home Investments Partnerships Act Program, or HOME, and the Emergency Solutions Grant, or ESG. These are received on an annual basis. In order to receive the grants, the City of Oxnard must submit and receive approval of a consolidated plan, an annual action plan, and an analysis of impediments to fair housing choice. More description is to follow. HUD approved the City of Oxnard's participation in the 5-year 2020 to 2024 Ventura County Regional Consolidated Plan, hereinafter referred as to Regional Consolidated Plan, that assessed the housing and community development needs of all incorporated cities and unincorporated areas of the Ventura County. The County of Ventura served as the lead agency. This was the City of Oxnard's first involvement in the Regional Consolidated Plan. Prior to this, the City of Oxnard completed and submitted its own consolidated plan. The current Regional Consolidated Plan will be expiring on June 30th, 2025. In preparation, the County of Ventura, serving as the lead agency, along with the incorporated cities and unincorporated areas of Ventura County, issued a joint request for proposals. They invited qualified organizations to submit proposals for the preparation of the 2025 to 2029 Consolidated Plan and analysis of impediments to fair housing choice. 3 proposals were submitted and reviewed. The following organizations submitted proposals: MDG Associates Incorporated, or MDG, TDA Consulting Incorporated, and Veronica Tam and Associates Incorporated. After thorough review, MDG was selected. MDG has over 34 years of experience providing consulting services to government agencies with a focus on planning and administering programs funded by HUD. MDG led a robust citizen participation plan, which included community outreach via community meetings and surveys in an effort to provide an opportunity for citizens, nonprofit organizations, and other stakeholders to help define priorities for addressing local community needs. 62 Oxnard residents or stakeholders participated in the development of the Regional Consolidated Plan. In order to develop the 2025-2029 Ventura County Regional Consolidated Plan, both qualitative and quantitative data were gathered through citizen and stakeholder participation. A market analysis was completed and also an assessment of local data. The plan put forth the following regional goals to meet high priority needs. These include affordable housing, social services, addressing homelessness, quality neighborhoods, economic development, and effective administration. The 2025-2029 Analysis of Impediments to Fair Housing Choice, or AI Plan, drew much of the work that was completed as part of the 2021 to 2029 Housing Element Plan. The Housing Element Plan is part of a state mandated plan, which requires all California jurisdictions to conduct a fair housing assessment that includes an analysis of fair housing issues, identifies factors that contribute to those issues, and comes up with meaningful actions to affirmatively further fair housing. The AI put forth numerous fair housing goals that address the 4 core fair housing issues identified in the plan. These goals include affordable housing in high-resource areas, distribution of information, resident engagement, infrastructure improvements in areas of concentrated poverty, and development of ADUs. As mentioned earlier, annually, the Housing Department must also submit an annual action plan. The annual action plan serves as an application for the 3 entitlement grant programs referenced earlier. The annual action plan, hereinafter referred to as the AAP, will specify activities, goals, and funding allocations for that given fiscal year. The City of Oxnard is estimating to receive an estimated award amount of $1,888,317 in CDBG, an approximate allocation of $535,916 in home, and an approximate allocation of $175,122 in ESG for fiscal year 2025 to 2026. Depending on the final allocation awarded by HUD, staff will adjust the sub-awards or recommendations for awarding accordingly. Annually, the Housing Department issues a NOFA, or a notification of funding availability for nonprofits and city departments to apply for the CDBG and ESG funding allocations. In order to apply, a mandatory workshop is required. Applications were received from February 3rd, 2025 to March 3rd, 2025. The Housing Department received 19 CDBG applications and 6 ESG applications. Cumulatively, all applications exceeded by a significant amount the total estimated allocation that the city of Oxnard expects to receive. Therefore, staff thoroughly reviewed all of the applications and is recommending awarding of various funding amounts depending on the program, depending on the application overall feasibility and ratings. The following is the overview of the proposed allocations. Under the CDBG grant resources, the Housing Authority again is expecting to receive $1,888,317. This does not include a $100,000 allocation towards program income. Out of this amount, 20% must go towards administration, or $397,663, and no more than 15% can go over to public services, or $298,247, and no more than $1,292,407 will be allocated to public improvements and other programs. Under the home program, the city is expecting an allocation of $535,916, not including $150,000 towards program income. And again, for the Emergency Solutions Grant, an allocation of $175,122. The grant total for all three entitlement grants is estimated to be $2,849,355. Under each category, the following recommendations for funding are being proposed. Palm Vista Senior Center for $30,000, the Colonial Memorial Park Veterans Gym for $20,000, the PAL or Police Activities League for $80,000, the Southwinds Youth Center for $30,505, the Senior Supportive Services with the Oxnard Housing Authority for $50,000, the Foundation First Basic Needs Assistance Program under the Shelter Care Resources Agency for $35,000, the Counseling Services for Survivors of Interpersonal Violence Program offered by the Coalition of Resources in an amount of $25,000, and also, or lastly, the Turning Point Foundation request for Our Place Safe Haven Emergency Shelter and Multi-Service Navigation Center program in an amount of $27,742. Again, for public services, the grand total estimated allocation is $298,247. Under the public improvements and other programs, the following applications are being recommended for funding. The Oxnard Public Works Cal Gisler Neighborhood Street Resurfacing and ADA Improvement Project in an amount of $1 million, and the Oxnard Housing Authority's rehabilitation proposed program for the 201 South D Street Apartments Historical Property project in an amount of $292,407. On the Emergency Solutions Grant, there is an approximate allocation of $175,122. Out of this, the staff is recommending an approval for Mercy House Rapid Rehousing Program for $68,730, the United Way Ventura County Rapid Rehousing Program for $40,000, and Turning Point Foundation's Our Place Safe Haven Emergency Shelter for $53,258. Under the home budget, or again, the home investment partnership, the estimated allocation is $685,916, including a $150,000 allocation towards program income. Out of this, approximately 10% will be set aside for administration and planning, and then approximately 15%, not including the program income, will be set aside for community home developers that are developing affordable housing, and then or known as choros. And lastly, $536,938 will be available for developers who need assistance to develop new affordable housing projects. Therefore, the recommendation is that the City Council, one, conduct a public hearing to receive comments from the public regarding the 2025 to 2029 Ventura County Regional Consolidated Plan, the 2025 to 2029 Ventura County Regional Analysis of Impediments to Fair Housing Choice, and the 2025 to 2026 Annual Action Plan to be submitted to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Office of Community Planning and Development. Two, approve the 2025 to 2029 Ventura County Regional Consolidated Plan and the 2025 to 2029 Ventura County Regional Analysis of Impediments to Fair Housing Choice. Three, authorize the city manager or his designees to incorporate any recommended changes resulting from public input to the Ventura County Regional Consolidated Plan, the Ventura County Regional Analysis of Impediments to Fair Housing Choice, and the 2025 to 2026 Annual Action Plan. Four, approve the 2025 to 2026 Annual Action Plan and incorporate the final HUD allocations into the plan and authorize the budget appropriations to fund the administration and activities in the plan. And five, authorize the city manager or his designees to make any budgetary adjustments within 10% or $200,000, whichever is greater, per the citizen participation plan of the proposed budget in the 2025 to 2026 Annual Action Plan that is approved by the City Council. And six, authorize the city manager or his designees to execute HUD agreements and sign all agreements for the implementation of the Ventura County Regional Consolidated Plan, Ventura County Regional Analysis of Impediments to Fair Housing Choice, and Annual Action Plan, including subrecipient, interdepartmental, and intradepartmental agreements. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time.